probably going to finish the rest of it tomorrow because it's getting late and the black flies are to the point that they're going to carry us out of this thing. Oh, holy shnikes! Guys, what's going on, and welcome back to the channel. Today's the day. Everything mechanically is finally fixed on this thing. Today's the day. We're going to clean it, make it look new again. So stick around. All right, now everything's done. You can see on the hood, bring the camera right in here. You can see all of this. This is some serious contamination that I'm sure is from the moss, pine pitch, and God knows what else. So this is gonna have to all be clay barred. It's the only way to get this all off. Get the paint as absolutely smooth as we can, and then I can start actually buffing it. I'm actually going to try, because I've used it before in the past, new finish. It's been around forever. I've had good success with it before. Really, this should have a compound and a polish, but I want to try the new finish. I'm not sponsored by them in any way, but I just want to try the polish to see if it's actually going to shine this up again. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, I didn't pay a whole lot for this, and I don't need it 100%, but I'd like to. I mean, I want to get all this fixed. I want to get the other side fixed, so we'll keep walking around. You'll see. It's really faded when you look at it. You can see the paint's been definitely sitting outside. It wasn't garage kept. It was, you can tell it's been sitting around for 7 years. Once I got all the moss off, it revealed some scratches and damage. This I know I'm not going to be able to get out. I can buff it, make it look better, but I can actually feel the gouges in the paint, so that's all the way through the clear coat down to the metal. Same thing with this one here. Most of this to about here I can get rid of, but this part here I'd actually have to touch up. I have an idea. I think I'm actually going to get some fender flares for this because I like the look of them on these trucks. And once I put them on, they actually come right up, and pretty much you may see like a very thin line of this. But as I pressure washed it, I'm not kidding you, up in this part up here, I probably spent 25-30 minutes on each side just pressure washing all the moss, pine needles, you name it was in here, stuck in the roof rack, stuck in the windshield. It was everywhere. But I mean, now that you see everything off it, I can't get over how nice this. I had a Yukon XL 2 years ago, a year older than this one, and it was, all this was gone, all of this was gone, the rockers were totally gone. I mean, it was rotted right out. I cannot believe how good shape this thing is for as old as it is. There goes the monster. I did spend quite a bit of time spraying in here. I mean, this was packed right full of just about anything and everything you can imagine. Same thing with the actual hatch itself. Oh, that smells so good. Doesn't it smell good? She's saying no. But I got all this cleaned out in here. Because this was a school that owned this, they actually use this as a bus. They greased the hell out of everything. Not that that's a bad thing, but I personally wouldn't use that much grease. So eventually I'm gonna have to get that all cleaned up and cut down a little bit. So we come back down to the other side, and here comes the three-wheeled monster again. There she goes. Like I said, up in here, this was all nasty. The rims, there really isn't much I can do with it. That is about as clean as those are gonna get. The only way to really fix them is I take the tires off, and because these are aluminum, if I get a wire wheel, right, Riley? Yeah. If I get a wire wheel, grind this all down as smooth as I can actually repaint them. I might just pay the body guy that I'm contemplating having do all this work. I might just pay him to just repaint them because it'd be easier. The other thing I did that unfortunately the camera died was I got this whole thing cleaned right out. I mean, this was just nasty everywhere, grease everywhere. It was disgusting. Big thing when you do it, it's important that you remove the negative post off the battery. You do not want power in here because that's how you're going to start frying stuff. These vehicles, all newer vehicles, and even this is kind of falls in that newer category, even though it's 17 years old, everything's pretty much watertight. So you're really not going to have an issue with water getting into stuff it shouldn't, unless seals and gaskets and stuff like that are starting to break down. I'm pretty lucky with this. I mean, I've only had a few brake lines. Earlier in the video, you saw the unit or the cooler right here. I thought it was the oil cooler. It's actually the power steering cooler. I guess I didn't even realize that that's what they look like. Because on the older models, I'm pretty sure that's what they used to look like, as the oil cooler. That is actually leaking as it goes to the lines. It goes back here to the steering pump. So the steering pump on this, because this has hydro boost braking, it's a heavy duty towing package. The steering pump actually powers the hydraulics of the brakes, which is why when I initially brought it back here, I had no steering and no brakes because the steering pump was totally dry, because I'm sure after 7 years of sitting, that thing totally leaked out. So that's on my list. It's like $100. It's on my list of things to do. It's really not hard. I just take the grill off, 2 bolts, and then a couple hoses, and the whole thing's done in probably like an hour. Knowing my luck, like 3 hours, because everything I do is 10 times harder than it needs to be. So the next project I'm going to start working on is actually on the inside. We're going to start getting all this cleaned up. The intentions are, obviously, first I got to vacuum everything so I can get a majority of it out. The front seats, Yeah, you can really see there's all the chunks of glass that were left in there from the other window that was broke out, all the stuff that's up on the dash. It just looks yummy. All the leaves that were in there. I mean, I think there's an ant colony on the inside of this still that I haven't gotten rid of. But I got to get the front row, the middle row, and the back row out. And then I can start. It's just going to be easier to... I wouldn't normally pull the carpet out of these, but it's just going to be so much easier because the midpoint's right here. So I'll get the middle row out, the back row, and the front row out. Then all I got to do is just pull the carpet out, front and back, pressure wash everything, and it takes like 1/10 of the time. Then I just got to extract the excess water out of it, let it dry, and put it back in the truck. And the other reason why I'm going to that extent, because I wouldn't normally, except for up in the front, with all the water getting in. I don't know what damage has been done underneath, so I want to make sure that the carpet's not totally saturated with water. But also, I'm not really sure what that is. I opened this panel up here. This panel that's up here, I pulled this off when we were looking for the spider, and I got wafted in the face with something that I can only describe as a rotting carcass. So I have a feeling that something might have died behind there and has been leaking out all over the rug. That, or a cat decided to come in, mark the territory, and piss all over the inside of it. Yummy. So first thing I'm gonna do is just get the vacuuming done, and then I'll probably start pulling things apart. I don't know how much more time I'm gonna have tonight. I might have to finish this all tomorrow. This is gonna be pretty time consuming to get both these panels off, the other post covers off, and then get all three rows of seating out. It's a nightmare because I actually had to go down and buy a special set of sockets for the front row because GM uses a torque socket, but it's a reversed head. Instead of it being the typical, like the newer ones are, the Torx head is recessed, these are actually out, and you have to have a whole special tool for it. So I had to go down and buy that today because it's one of the things I didn't have. So I'm going to start with the vacuuming, and then I guess we'll see how much time we have left. I am now sweating to death because it's really hot in here. It's really hot outside. Makes me wish I had a nice facility with air conditioning. Maybe someday. But currently where my wonderful camera woman is, that area's all cleaned out. But look at all that delicious yumminess down there. Oh, it gets better. I think they really like this side more. I think they really enjoyed that side. That might have been the bathroom. Over here was where they ate. Over on this side, this is where they ate. Over there, that side, yeah, that's where they were doing the poo-poo. So we're gonna get all that cleaned out. Then I'm gonna actually flip the seats up, get the underside of these done, flip them down, clean the seats, and then I'm gonna get the front area all vacuumed up. And that's probably gonna be it for tonight because it's getting pretty late. I don't think this muffler's loud enough. Maybe a little louder. Vroom vroom. I probably got to finish the rest of it tomorrow because it's getting late and the black flies are to the point that they're going to carry us out of this thing. So I'm going to finish vacuuming all this up. Like I said, flip the seats up, get this done, then start doing the front. they had these wonderful odor eliminators. They're normally found in the bottom of urinals, and they apparently decided to, that's how we'll get rid of the pee smell, maybe. Ugh. All right, guys, day number 2 on this detail. As you can see, this is no longer green. Looks a little better in the daylight now. Last night we got the inside pretty much vacuumed all up, cleaned up, got most of the stuff out. Today I went down and got a couple more cleaning products, and the one thing I actually found, instead of using a clay bar, I found a clay, it's almost like a clay mitt, but it's actually pad. I know there's a little bit of controversy in the detailing world of which one's better. I've used the clay bars. They're great because they pull everything off. I haven't tried these clay mitts yet. I want to try one, see what it's like, because on the hood there's a lot of contamination. There's 2 ways you can use it. A quick detailer, with the clay mitts, you can actually use soap and water just as lubrication, and then just scrub across the paint, rinse it off, and you're done. The big thing, it's a time saver, so it's the reason why I want to try it. So we're actually going to today, because my wife is hell-bent on seeing the back end, so I'm not going to work on that until she gets home. We're going to actually now get this thing totally clay mitted, and then I'm going to start polishing it and see if we can get the color back. So stay tuned. All right, guys, I mean, you can't get any easier than that. The big thing is you just rinse this off afterwards, but I can already feel the difference in the paint. That is way smoother than it just was. I mean, it's really dry and oxidized, which the polish is going to take care of, but I could feel it when it was actually grabbing contamination. I could feel it when it was pulling it off the paint. So this stuff actually works pretty good. I mean, you are obviously playing. You're going to scratch it. There's some scratches in here, but that's what polishing's for. Polishing is going to get rid of all of your scratches and swirls that you put in the paint. But the big thing is, like I said, you just gotta lightly rub this. Don't put a lot of pressure on it, just like with a regular clay bar. You just lightly rub it in, because you're just pulling the contaminants off of the paint. That's all you're doing. All right, guys, it's been a couple hours. Got the polisher out. I'm actually use a wool pad. Like I said, it's a very cheap polisher, but this seems to work for me over the years. And this is the new finish polish that I'm going to be using. It's a once-a-year polish. Like I said earlier, I've used it on my 97 Tahoe when I had it. The Tahoe looked very similar to this, brought the color right back to life. So we'll see how much these contaminants we get off. And also, you might notice in the background, you can hear the air compressor running, because it's that time of the year where we have nothing but pollen. So I got the air compressor going so I can blow this area off before I do it. But I'm actually going to tape right down the center of it so you can see one half compared to the other. All right, I don't know if you guys can see this. I can in person. Very hazy. And we go over this part. It's not perfect, but it's way better than it was. You can see the line right there. There's the line. That's where it was taped. And you can see where the transition is. Nice and smooth. I mean, this is very smooth now. It's like glass, as opposed to very dull and faded. So we're gonna get the rest of the hood done now, and see if we can make it look a little better. Like I said, I mean, you can definitely see the line right there. Took quite a bit off, but it really needs to probably be wet sanded and treated the right way. At least use a compound. I mean, you can see the amount of oxidation that's coming off on the pad. That's why I have the air compressor out, so that way I can continue to blow the pad off. the polishing with the new finish is done. Again, I'm not overly crazy about it. I'm going to want to actually compound it, because if you come in and look, you get already, of course, covered in pollen, God forbid. You can see a lot of the contamination still on there. The only way to get that out is with actual compound. I mean, it's really hard to see on the camera, but I can see it with the naked eye. It's there. I mean, on camera it probably looks great, but I mean, you walk around the truck and it's definitely a brighter blue than it was. I mean, it's not green anymore. That's plus, right? But like this stuff here, I can feel from here to about here is just enough where it's just barely in the clear coat. So this whole section with actual compound would actually come out. This part here and this part here is nothing I can do about it without touching it up. But like I said, I think I'm gonna put some fender flares on it that actually come up to about here, so I'll cover it up anyways. But like the old 177, it's there, it's visible, but you really got to look for it to see it. This is, I'm sure in the sunlight this thing's going to stand out like a sore thumb, but now and then where it looks like a 3-year-old used a scraper to take a sticker that was on here off. Great job. These ones won't come out, but a lot of these will over here and down the side of the truck here. I mean, you can still read kind of school a little bit faintly, I'm sure, in the sun. It'll stand out. There's the air compressor on again. It makes so much noise, it's nice. But like all these will come out for the most part with compound. So I just wanted to try it, see what it would do. I mean, it definitely brought the color back, I'll give it that much, but it's not compound and it's not polished. Compound and polish is what you want, because what compound does is it cuts down in, takes a layer of the clear coat off, and then that usually where all your scratches and stuff sit and your imperfections is in the clear coat. And then you go through and do the polish to build the clear coat back, and then usually once you get all that stuff done, you can actually do a ceramic finish on it, which, who knows, maybe I'll do it someday with this. I don't think I'm going to right away until I get this stuff fixed, and I'm going to have to get the hood redone because it's starting to rust where the stone chips kind of got to it. But like I said, I didn't get the truck for much, hence the salvage yard Suburban. It was, realistically, I saved it from being totally destroyed. So, we'll see. I think the next step we're going to work on now is start getting the inside tore out of it. So this is why you would, to do a true detail, remove the seats. This is all the stuff that even after I vacuumed, it was totally missed. I never would have gotten this out. Like all this stuff caked down in the carpet in here. But this is the main reason why I wanted to separate it. The carpet separates here. So now once I take these rear back panels off, the whole back section of the carpet will come right out. I think I have to. No, I don't, okay. So, luckily they cut everything out around this. But you gotta take all this paneling here. This has to come loose, this comes out. Then the whole back section of carpet comes out. And actually on the other side of this, I kind of want to get into it anyways, because that's where the HVAC system for the rear air control is. So we'll get it out, and then I'll give it one more vacuum before I actually pull it out, so that way everything's loose. I'm not dumping all over the driveway and stuff. This stuff here in the carpet, I know that's probably not going to come out, because I'm sure that's some sort of cleaning agent that was spilt that permanently ruined the carpet right there. Like I said, this color carpet's a very hard color to get totally 100% clean. Again, all the stuff, the brown stuff in the back, I have a feeling is actually cat urine, so that'll come right out. But all the other stuff, these discolorations and stuff here, I'd be very surprised if I can get them out. And then the only way to fix it is to dye the carpet, and I'm not going to go to that extent to, and as old as it is and what I'm doing with it, I'm not going to really go to that extent to actually dye the carpet. So I'm going to get the front seats pulled out now and see what kind of hidden treasures are underneath that. Okay, I'm about dead, but all 3 rows of seats are out, and this is something that worries me. I have an airbag light that keeps coming on. I have a feeling it's this. That's one of the airbag control modules, or the airbag control module. And much stuff that's corroded on top of that. I have a bad feeling that the water had gotten to it down through the seat and totally soaked it and ruined it. So I think tomorrow I'll take the carpet out of it, and then, well, first I gotta get the rest of these trim pieces all out, and then tomorrow I'll take the carpet out of it. And I'm just gonna take the easier out. I'm just gonna pressure wash everything. Daddy. And then I'll get the steamer out, and we'll steam clean all the rest of the plastic. It'll be easier now because all the plastic's actually gonna be out, so it'll be a lot easier than trying to do it inside of here. So plan is I'll vacuum up what's left of this, and then tomorrow I'll, like I said, pull the carpet out, pressure wash it, drill brush it, stain remove it, let it dry, put it back in the truck, put all 3 rows of seating back in the truck, put everything back together, and then she'll be done.
Daddy?
Eventually I want to get the paint done, but I'll worry about that another day. We'll get that looking as perfect as we can get it. So we'll catch you tomorrow. All right, guys, it's another day. I actually, the other night there, got the front row of carpet out and the pad. I still have the back row of carpet and the side panels I got to take off, but I got pretty much most of the front part tore apart, which this is a huge reason why in some scenarios you actually want to pull the carpet out. That would have never been able to get to if I didn't pull the carpet. I mean, this is all rust right here. I might be all right with that module. I might have been wrong. I forgot there was that deodorizer thing that was sitting up above it, so all the white stuff might actually be that. I don't know. I won't know which airbag sensor it actually is until I can get it running enough to get it registered, and then run it with a scan tool. But we're gonna get the camera set up, and we're gonna get this stuff pulled apart in the back, and then I'll go through and I'm actually going to clean the entire floor out of this whole thing. This padding is actually, I got it hanging up in the garage. This part right here is the passenger floorboard part, and it was soaked. I mean, to the point that when I pulled it out of the truck, the water was literally just running out of it. It's pretty dry right now though. I think it'll be all right. Once I run the machine, it'll get rid of whatever smells that are in it, but it dried up pretty good. This is the carpet, the front section. So what happens is that the back section comes right up to this point here, and then that's the seam line. So I don't normally, in a detail, remove the carpet. This scenario I had to because I knew there was water underneath it, and I'm glad I did, because obviously I would never got to all that sand that was up against by the driver's side floorboard, which I'll show you again. This is all the sand that would have been packed in there that eventually would have just rotted out the floor. I mean, I would have never been able, there's a ton of that in there. I'd have never been able to get to that if I hadn't pulled the carpet out. It's a pain, it's a lot of work, but it'll be way easier, because then when it comes to cleaning, I'm gonna just pressure wash the carpets, and then all the plastic panels are out of the truck. The only thing that's gonna be in it is, obviously the dash isn't coming out. The dash, and then the 4 door panels and the rear hatch cover. And that's it. Everything else is sitting in a pile in the 3rd row seat over here. And then it's just gonna be easier to take the steamer, clean everything. This thing is part of the ductwork for underneath seats, and you can hear it's right full of God only knows what. So we get the camera set up. We'll get this stuff disassembled and pull this last section of rug out, and then we can start cleaning the inside out. my God. So, as you can see from my reaction, I took the panel off. This is the one big mouse nest here, and that's what's causing all of this runoff here is mouse urine, God only knows what else. And then there's another one up here. So they had one on both ends. And then over here, they apparently decided that they didn't like the wiring for whichever one of the actuators this is, so I have to do all new wiring for all of this. And God only knows up here where this is, how much of this wiring that goes to the back they chewed up. And then when I took this upper part, you can still see some mouse poop hanging here. It's now down there. The part here where the plastic covers, there was mouse doo-doo all over that. Unfortunately, this is what happens when a vehicle sits for 7 years. I think it's neglected. Things get inside of it, and they make it their home. So, I gotta find the bit for this, because I forgot these hooks got to come out in order for me to take the carpet out of here. But the carpet's definitely got to come out. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I definitely got to get the carpet out of it. So we're going to get that going, and then I can get all this sucked up, cleaned up, and then start wiping it down. Because once I get the bottom cleaned out, it'll be like the front, and then I'm actually going to vacuum all this up, and then I'm going to use all-purpose cleaner and scrub everything down, and there won't be an inch of this thing left that won't be clean looking. Because this is disgusting. This is the biggest mouse nest I have ever seen. Ever. And oh, the smell. Phew. So I'm going to get a face mask on because I don't really want to breathe that as I'm moving that around. And then we'll get the carpet out of here. Yummy. Yummy, yummy. Is that kneeling mouse poo-poo? Alright, so here we go. Any mice? Hello? Anybody home? There's usually a center of these where they have it burrowed out. That's nice. Oh, look at all that poo-poo. My wife thinks this is hilarious. Oh my God. There's so much poop in there. I cannot. Look at that. It's even turned white. It's been in there so long. Oh my God. Look at that. Look at that in there. That is disgusting. Oh, I'm glad I took this apart. Ugh. That's just nasty. Oh, that's nice. It's just oozing everywhere. I'm wondering I'm not gagging. This is disgusting. This is probably the most disgusting thing I've seen. And I thought the tartar sauce that I found on my grandmother's car like 15 years ago was disgusting because that made me puke. But that's just yummy. Oh, we're gonna go move the thing around so I can see how bad that nest is. Then I gotta get the vacuum and suck all that up. Oh my God. Good. Let's see how bad this one is. Drum roll. Can you see it? Hello? Is anybody? Oh boy. Maybe I get lucky. They didn't chew the wiring. Let's see. I think I might have got semi-lucky. They got close. I think I got all right. That was dirty. No, they did a little bit. Damn it. Oh my God. It's like chocolate sprinkles. Riley, you want chocolate sprinkles? No. If this tells you anything, you get a good look at Riley. She thinks it's disgusting out here. Is that gross?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
All right. Well, we're gonna get the vacuum out, and I'm gonna hey, get out of there. I'm gonna suck all this up, including in the back, and then I gotta fix that over there. I'm glad I took this apart because that could have, with the insulation right there, sorted out and set a fire. Do you want to ask 9,000 questions now? Yeah. I'm sure you do. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Okay, all the carpet is now out. So we're gonna start getting this whole thing cleaned out. The first thing I'm gonna do is actually the lower end of the air box. I'm gonna actually disconnect that whole piece, drop that piece down because there's still some mouse residue remnants falling down. So I wanna make sure there's no mouse nest up in there. Then once I know I have no mouse nest left in here, I'm gonna start vacuuming everything up, scrub everything down with some all-purpose cleaner, and then I'm gonna actually do this backwards. Normally I would do the seats first and then the carpet after, but considering I'm not driving this anytime soon, I'm actually gonna do the carpets first and then do the seats after, because I want to do the carpets first, extract them out, all the excess water out of them, and actually put them back in the truck and start getting the truck put back together so I can get the seats put back in it after. All right, guys, as you can see, everything's nice and scrubbed down. The nice, wonderful rodent smell is gone. Actually smells nice and citrusy from that chemical guy's all-purpose cleaner that I actually like to use. You can see some rust spots on the floor. Doesn't surprise me. I mean, I'm pretty sure most vehicles this age have probably worse than what I'm seeing here, but a lot better than it was. All nice and clean. That's about as good as it's gonna get. Cleaned out all the seals. There was a mouse nest over there that I actually got rid of, sucked that out. And I think that was it. Yeah, there wasn't any other ones. Thank God. Cleaned out up underneath there. I'm gonna leave the cover off for the vent because I have to get a new resistor, because that's why I don't have fan speeds 1, 2, 3, or 4, which I had a feeling. So what I'm gonna actually do is get the underlay padding put back in now, reattach all of this wiring, and then when that's done, I'm going to start doing the carpet. right, guys, the next day. Carpet's cleaned. I mean, about as best you're going to get. Unfortunately, with tan and gray, sometimes stains are impossible to get all the way out without dyeing them. I mean, believe me, this is way better than it was. That was all where the runoff from the mouse nest was. That's all nice and cleaned up now. So the carpet's all done, reinstalled back in the truck. And yes, I don't just pressure wash it and then leave it. I actually do extract the excess water out of it. So that's what it looks like. I'm happy with it. I mean, it came out a lot better than it was. Obviously, like the rust, and I'm assuming this stuff here is from like a bleach or a cleaner that they used in it at some point that totally discolored the carpet. And it's, without dyeing it again, that's the only way you're going to fix it. But the next thing we're going to work on is I'm going to get the seats done now, and then I'm going to get the steamer in. We're going to get all of this cleaned up, and we're going to start working on all these door panels. This was the one that had the window broken out, if you remember, and yeah, the steamer is definitely going to do some work on this door. It's pretty nasty. So I guess we'll get set up, get the seats done, and then let them start drying while I do all the other stuff. Okay guys, this is day I don't even know anymore because this has been a very long 3 weeks. As you see, I'm wearing finally one of our shirts. My wife actually designed this. They're very nice. They're not up for sale yet. If you guys are interested in one, put a comment down in the comments below. Let us know. Maybe we'll start marketing them. But today we're going to actually finally start putting the inside back in. I spent most of the night last night. I know this is one video, but I spent most of the night last night cleaning everything. At the end of this, we're actually going to have a bucket pour finally. And it's nice. Real good stuff. So we're going to come around here, and this is kind of where we're at right now. Carpet's all back in totally. The door panels are cleaned. Dash is done. There's a couple more spots in there I need to do once I get the seat in, just because it's kind of awkward to hang over it without the seat to sit in. I'm sometimes kind of lazy. So we're just going to get everything all set up and first start getting all the plastic put in and then start putting the seats back in this. So I forgot about this part. I actually got lucky. This is the resistor, and you can see the mice had a field day. That goes up underneath the dash. This is what controls the fan speed. So fan speeds 1, 2, 3, and 4 will actually work, because right now only 5 works because this thing is, as you can see, shot. So the parts store, I just got it, had it in stock, thank God. So we're gonna throw that in. I'm gonna come right around this way. Like, they chewed this, which this is the wire that goes to the actual blower motor itself. Luckily, the other wires coming down in, they apparently didn't want to feast on. So we're gonna real quick swap this in. That way, when I'm done, I can run the Ozone machine one more time and actually have all the fan speed controls. Because I did run the back. I know the back, all 3 speeds work, but the front, only the high works. Because, well, this poor little thing is tired and a little corroded, and I don't think it wants to work anymore. So we're gonna actually put this in first, then I can put the lower cover back on, and then we can start working on the inside of it. All right, guys, finally, after almost dying, everything's in. It came out great, actually. I'm really happy with it. Looks good. I'll apply some 303 UV protectant on everything, get it all nice and shiny again. But look at that, everything looks good now. Smells so much better in here. No more mouse nest in there. Everything looks good. Now, unfortunately, I have to wash it again, but this time it'll be quicker because I've already done the wax and everything, obviously. So, but that's okay. We'll get it. There. Looks so much better. I mean, hard to believe I couldn't open this door before. It was covered in mold. Now look at it. The dash was just totally disgusting. Down here, you didn't even know there was a floor mat. The seat, everything. I just can't get over how nice this looks. This came out great.
So, what you doing in here?
I don't really know. The truck's done. That's good news. The bad news is that every time I turn the air conditioning on, all I can smell is mouse pee-pee and poo-poo.
You think you're not gonna know how to put this back together?
No. There's a lot of screws. I don't know where they all go, but I hope we'll figure it out. Now, it's really not bad. These are actually pretty easy to take out. It's just you know, when they design things, they design it. Hey, let's design it not thinking about it in the truck. We'll think about it on the assembly line. Who cares 15 years later or 17 years later when some poor sucker like myself has to tear the whole thing apart. There's a lot of nuts and bolts everywhere. So the plan is to get this off, and then up here is the ductwork. And I have this bolt that I think is like a mile long and never going to detach. Oh, there it goes. Whew! Almost lost my cool there. The plan is to just pull the dash away enough, and then I should be able to pull this up. Ooh, that's loose. This is out of the way. Don't want to hit the windshield. Oh, there goes more mouse poop. Weird. Weird. What's this? Oh, that's that plug and unplug right there. We'll just move that out of the way. I'll know if I haven't done something right, because then it won't go back together and I'll have all these sorts of weird lights. So I guess I gotta come over to the other side and see if I can just pull this thing up. Let's see. Positive note, the truck's inside the garage now, so I'm not standing in the pouring rain doing this. Oh, let's hope this is loose enough for her to take it out. What's this? Is this another screw? Oh, of course it is. Of course it's another screw. Why wouldn't they screw everything together? What do I do with the ratchet? Oh no. Okay. Electric ratchet. Ouch. We go ouch. We go ouchie. How many more of these could there possibly be? I mean, seriously. Oh my God. Some more? Is there any more? Hello? Oh, there's one there. Why wouldn't there be? Are we separate now? I think we're separate. Don't know how much though. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Ooh. I'll go on the other side. Go through the maze. Running through the maze. I really need a shed. Okay, where are you going? Okay. Aha! Oh! Now what? It's gonna be so much fun to put back together. Oh, the radio antenna. Oh, that could be in the way. Let's move you. Let's take you out of there. Come on. Come on. Uh-huh. That's part of it. It's fun. Oh! Oh, there's the problem. Here. Let me see if I can get this on camera for you guys. Mmm. Yummy. Mouse nesty down in the ducky. Oh, that side's not so bad. That side, on the other hand, oh yeah, that's just, oh, that's nice and delicious. All right, we're gonna see if we can get the vacuum in there and suck all that out. Mmm. Okay. It smells horrible down in there, so I'm gonna have to run the ozone machine again, because that's the only way I'm gonna get rid of that remaining odor now that the nest is gone. But I'm pretty sure now that that's out of there, that means that the passenger side will get air. I was kind of wondering why there wasn't much airflow coming out of this side. Right after I got everything all on the inside all put back together, I turned it on and got blasted in the face with a bunch of mouse nest. That had never come out. I was hoping that the fan was going to be enough, but it wasn't. So my wife's looked down in here from her angle, and she can't see anything anymore, and I'm pretty sure that's it, because it was only affecting this one side. It wasn't affecting the other side. Thank God there's nothing in the rear AC and heat unit. Yeah, it's gave me time to suck all the leaves out of the side that were trapped up underneath the dash from, the window being gone. So, I'm just gonna take the time to put this all back together and hope to God I remember how to do it. All right, guys, the dash cover's back on. I got 7 screws I have to put in. There's one that goes in here, over here, and then the other 5 go right around the rest part of the dash. This actually isn't too bad to take apart. There's in all the videos I watched, there's videos out there so you can see how to do it. It's actually really super easy to take this thing apart. The only thing they didn't talk about is that here and here, there's 2 clips that actually hold it up against this part. Other than that, the thing just slides out because there's little grooves in the front that it just slides up into. Just everything that they describe that I heard to be careful of is these parts here. Luckily, this thing was sitting in shade the most of the time in the last 7 years, so it wasn't all brittle. But biggest thing when you're doing this is try and either A, take pictures, or B, have a really, really good memory to remember how everything goes, because I made sure I had the right amount of bolts. Right now, the right amount of bolts I have sitting right here is what I should have. I shouldn't have anything else, which I don't. The ones on the floor are the ones that go for the cover underneath the HVAC unit. So that's the biggest thing I can give for a suggestion. The other thing is to make sure you plug everything back in, and then before you actually fit everything in permanently, to test everything. So right now the truck has power again. I'm not worried about the airbags or anything because the stuff I'm going to do now is not going to affect it. So, just if you got the steering wheel controls like I do, test them, make sure they work, check the gauge cluster, check the lighting control, check the radio, the AC unit, all that stuff. Check everything before you finish everything back in, because the last thing you want to do is get everything back together and realize, oh, I forgot to check that, and then you got to tear it all back apart again. As my father always says, I do it nice because I usually end up doing it twice. I did a couple times tonight and cursed myself a few times, but really this is not a horrible project to do. I've never pulled the dash out of a vehicle before like I have today, but it really isn't that hard. So I'm going to finish getting all the screws back in, and then I'm going to get the vacuum. I'm just going to run real quick and just clean this mess all up. And then tomorrow, I'm going to run the ozone machine one more time, and then that should be it. I won't have the odor anymore. This will be totally 100%, and then I'll give it its little wash, and then we'll do the final reveal of it. All right, guys. She's all back together. Right now I'm doing the last ozone treatment on this thing. Got the air running high now that everything's cleaned out. And see, the check engine light comes on again. It was on, but I think it's because it's got that old gas in there. It's just not running very good. But I mean, I've added some fresh gas to it recently, like 3-4 gallons. Seems to be running good. Sounds like one of the pulleys squeaking a little. But we're gonna let this run for half an hour. When I come back, I should not have any more odors in it finally, now that I got that mouse nest on there. I was so optimistic the last time when I ran it, going, should be odorless right now, and I can still smell it. So we're gonna let this run for 30 minutes, and like I said, now that mouse nest is out of there, this side over here is blowing phenomenal compared to what it was doing. So, and I got the headliner fixed too. Took care of that. It's not perfect, but it's not hanging down and looking like garbage anymore. So let this run, and then tomorrow, which will be Saturday, I'll give this another wash, and then we're gonna do the full walk around now that everything's all nice and clean, and you guys can see the difference. All right, guys, it's gonna be a wrap for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it today. I know she looks pretty good now. She's tucked away inside the garage. Next episode, I'm hoping to have it registered and we can take it on its first drive and then see what else is probably broken on it. Actually, it's tucked away in the garage now because behind me, we have our camper all clean and ready to go because we're actually going to go on a little vacation this week. So maybe the next episode, I'll drop some quick videos of that trip and the ocean and that type of stuff. Next week, I'm hoping when I get back, I'll actually start doing some more work on it, get it registered like I said, and then maybe take it on a little test drive. So please like, subscribe, have that bell notification turned on, and we'll catch you in the next one.